Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for listening and for being here. We are doing a reading for what will happen next time you see them. I'm going to try to feel the energy of your person and see what it's going to feel like next time you see them. We have 4 crystal cards here. I'll zoom in a minute. We have chrysocolla, apropyrite, jade, and tourmalinated quartz. So I'm going to zoom in on these for you. And oh my goodness, this is always so difficult. Okay, so here we go. These are your 4 crystal cards. Take a look, check them out, and then I'm going to timestamp in the bottom to lead you to your reading. So thank you so much. And again, this is going to be what will happen next time you see them. So thank you so much. See you soon. Bye. This is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. This is pile 1. We have chrysocolla here. So I always hold it up for you to take a look at. Anyway, you got the idea. And this is your pile. This is your reading. We are going to get right into it. What will happen next time you see them? I'm going to operate under the impression that you probably like this person, and or I don't know, maybe, who knows? We're not going to operate under anything. But yes, I want to get an idea of, I just want to see the current temperature. Like, what is happening with you guys? What is going on? So we've got the 7 of Wands, we have the 3 of Wands, and we have the Son of Wands. And just to get like a gauge, I think so the 7 of Wands makes me think like good things are happening. Actually, there's something about the 7 of Wands that's this like, you do exactly what you want to do. You figure it out. It's like you aim, you fire, you shoot to kill, and you go after what you want. I mean, that's a graphic description, but if you were a hunter, that's how you would go after exactly what you wanted. And that's kind of what I see in the 7 of Wands. And with the 3 of Wands, there's a little bit more of that intention. There's kind of that like, there's something positive. There's this friendship. There's this communication. There's this openness, this energy that's kind of like flowing between, even if it's you and your partner and one other person, there's just this kind of positive, open flow of energy. And then even the Son of Wands, there's more. I mean, this is all energetic. This is all action. There's a lot of, excuse me, passion and energy here. So I really like if we're going to come out and see this, I don't get anything bad or negative off of this. I don't know, maybe you guys have both like taken a step back to literally each one of you individually do your own thing for a minute and kind of assess what you want. But I could definitely see this, like you guys reached a point where you really had to figure out your direction. But I don't think there's any passion lost. I don't think there's any energy lost. I think there's a lot between you guys. And I'm going to try something different coming off this first line. I'm going to get who you are, kind of your energy as a person right now, and who they are. So I've got you as the crab, and I've got your person as the dog. And the crab, they have this armor that they wear, basically, this hard shell. They can exist in water. They can exist outside of water. They've been around forever. They can eat God knows what. Like, they are definitely a survivor. The crab is a rough and tough survivor, can defend itself, can do whatever it takes at any time. I don't know that the crab has, overflowing amounts of like love or passion necessarily towards others. But I do think that the crab is like almost a very stoic, strong individual. So if you're the crab, and maybe you have been defending yourself, maybe there's something in this dynamic with this person that almost felt too good to be true. I'm not saying that it was, but it could have felt that way. Or maybe it felt like everything was just going so wonderfully, it overwhelmed you. But to see your person that you're inquiring about come up as the dog with loyalty, this is a very, and given what I said, and just looking towards you, and actually even this crab is in a way like lifting itself up and putting its whole body, little eyes and tentacles, like there's this coming together here. There's like this framing of this whole line here. And I actually think just based off this, I really do think when you guys see each other that you're going to have this almost like aha kind of moment. I think there's going to be this feeling of like sun rays, like you're just going to be kind of basked in this. I don't know if it'll be warmth, but it'll be this sense of like there will be light. Things will be very clear. Or you'll kind of have this like I just see this really wonderful and like beautiful aha moment for you guys when you do actually come together. And we're going to get more information on this, but it is really nice. You will be, and I actually think you're going to have to soften a little bit, but you will soften. And this person, I do see them as loyal. I like them. I love that we've got the dog and then we kind of had the snake here and everything's just looking this way. I just feel like this person looks out for you. I feel like they care for you. They have this almost like protection feeling towards you. And, I don't know. And I think you kind of look to them in the same way. I almost get the sense that if you guys aren't together right now, if you've like pressed pause or you're taking a break, it's almost because you just needed like a moment. You really needed to see if this was real. You needed to really just understand kind of maybe how great this is, and to make some decisions, to really think like, do I want this? Is this right for me? Because it's definitely moving in that direction. But I do think you guys have something. I think you need to put your guard down a little bit and just kind of lean into it, which I can see you doing. And I think this person's going to really help like coax you and almost show you why you really should feel comfortable putting your guard down. But I really like this energy. I think it's very beautiful. And I just get this passion and creativity out of you guys. I think you guys are both doers. I think you're movers, you're shakers. You do exactly what you want, what you need to do. And I just think you have a really cool dynamic together. Yeah. And I think you guys are both probably, it's like you're opposites, but you're very much the same. I think on the outside, you might look and function a little bit differently, but I actually think when you guys come together, like your passions, your hobbies, I don't know if it's your work, but like how you operate, how you want to conduct yourself, your moral compass. I really think you guys are much, much more aligned. Like you have this kind of force that almost brings you together because you really do see things very similarly. You kind of move, I don't know, like you have similar vibrations. There's just there's a very cool thing I'm seeing here for you guys. And it really is all positive. And I love that because if you've watched my readings before, you know that I'm not always all positive. My readings are usually dark and heavy, but I love this one. So let's get a little bit more about, I'm going to take an oracle card here. I'm going to put this in the center and we're just going to see with some tarot, like who you are right now and who they are right now, specifically, building off of these character cards. So keep your commitments we have. And for you, a little bit about who you are. We've got the Five of Cups, which is, a kind of sad card about loss. And then the Father of Wands I like the Father of Wands. We've got the Son of Wands here, which is that very young, kind of hot, aggressive, sexy energy, but just fueled with action and momentum and intention. But young and almost aggressive, right? But the Father of Wands is much more, there's more thought that goes into the Father of Wands. He is the pinnacle of the Wands, so he's definitely going to have that, over the top. He's going to have all that vibrancy, but there's the enthusiasm that's like so strong in the Son of Wands is going to be a little more tempered in the Father of Wands. And this kind of goes with the Crab a little bit. There is still that looking over the situation, sizing things up, just like a cobra. This cobra isn't striking. It's coiled, but it's protecting it's actually protecting its energy. It's protecting its source. Cause this is its life source. This is its heat. This is its whole source. And I do feel like you are protecting your center, because you don't want to lose it. You don't want to have everything kind of implode in your face, but I actually don't think it's going to. I don't think that this is too good to be true. I think it's actually just right. So if there was some sadness from you about the situation, if you've, I actually think that this has been hard on you. I think that this break, this pause you guys are taking, I actually think that it has really triggered the sense of loss within you, probably more than you even realized. And I do think it's bringing up in you these feelings, these emotions, these these real passions. Whereas maybe as up here in the past with this person, you were maybe not as overly like loving or warm. Maybe you had like a little bit of a wall up and you didn't quite show this person exactly how you cared about them. But I think now you'd be ready to. And I do think that you don't really want to go back to being the person you were up here. You want to give them more. You want to be more vulnerable. And we'll find out how you're going to move into that. But I just think this has made you sad. And I think you're really ready to come out and just give a lot more of yourself, which is great. I love that. And as far as keep your commitments, maybe you talked about this. Maybe this person said, look, I need more from you. We've got such a great thing going. I'll give you everything. But you just need to give me a little bit more of yourself. And I actually think that you probably said you're working on that. And I really do think you're working on that. I think that it's just a good thing. And keep your commitments can mean 100 things. Conversations you had, little pieces of information that you shared and said you'd either work on or you do or you talk to someone about. And I think you're doing that because you really feel that this is something great. Okay, and as for them, the Hanged Man and Justice, two cards to imply that this person is really also putting work in. And I get the feeling that you guys know you're going to meet up. I don't think that you're just waiting to run into this person. I feel that you have talked and expressed that you both really do want to see each other and that there's probably this date that this is going to happen. I don't think that you're like waiting for the text or thinking about the right text to send or hoping you run into them. I think you know you have something. You guys know it. There's a lot of assurance here. And I do see, like I said, that you are actually sad that, in the time you've spent away from this person, like, yes, this probably is my person. And as for them, with the Justice and the Hangman, I think they're waiting. I think they're being very judicious with their time and their energy, who they spend their time with. I don't think they're running around. I don't think they're dating. I really don't think they're doing anything but actually waiting for you. I get the sense that they are very much in this kind of holding pattern, which I can get from the Hangman, just waiting, because you're what they want. And there is a sense of loyalty here coming off this card. I think they're kind, I think they're good, and I do think they're loyal. I don't know that they're loyal to everyone they've ever dated, but I definitely think with you, there's something very, very wonderful and unique about who they are. And let's get some more about when you guys meet. What can happen on this meeting? And the thing is, your reading is so positive that we don't need to go into too much about what's going to happen when you meet them. I just want you to know that things are good with you guys. Like, I think what's going to happen is you're going to talk. You're both going to say, oh my goodness, this has been so hard on me. I've been so sad. Like, yes, I'll make the changes. I'll do what you need. Like, let's talk about how we want this to work. Like, let's really go through our commitments, what we wanted from the other. And now that's what I see for this card. Given everything I've said, I think when you meet, you really are going to talk about what it is that freaked you out or wasn't there or made you retreat or whatever it is, like what it's going to take for you to come out of your shell a little bit, even though crabs never really come out of their shell. But I think you're going to have to, soften yourself. And I just think that's what this meeting's going to be about. I think you're really going to open up to one another. And I get the feeling you have in the past. I do think that you enjoy talking. I think there's great communication between you guys. However, there isn't really anything on this table about communication. The cups are the only card to really imply communication on this table, and it's a communication of sad. So there is a chance they know you're sad, whether you've told them yourself or whether they can just feel it, they just know, or maybe they've heard from friends or they've gauged it from you on social media or whatever. But I do think they know that you actually are quite sad. And I think this sadness of yours, this kind of vulnerable, like head hung sadness, is going to open the door for a lot of just the opportunity for you to finally be a little more vulnerable and a little bit more communicative about your feelings. Because I think that you guys, or I see that you guys operate in a more, almost more action, more movement. Like you guys just move together very well. You could be that couple that, can like be in a store, I don't know, shopping for whatever. You be at Whole Foods and like you can just look at each other and know like what the other's thinking, like, oh, I should get this, or don't get that, or let's make this. Like you just have this kind of silent communication that really works for you guys. And that is special and that is really neat, and it doesn't happen with everyone. I see that for you guys. There's this, like when you guys lock eyes, you probably just know what the other's thinking. You're very like connected and tuned into each other. But you probably are moving forward going to have to try to incorporate some more words into this, this dynamic of yours. But I don't want it to change. I just want you to add to it. Just kind of just build on it a little bit. Cause yeah, I see something very special for you guys. And I think this person is very good for you, because it can be hard to be the crab. If you're always defending yourself, if you're always protecting yourself, if you're always like, scurrying around from one place to the other to try to figure out where your place is. And, is it land? Is it water? Is it under a rock? I think you need a little like reprieve from that. And this is the person to pull you out of that. And I think you guys you're creative together. You enjoy each other's company. I think there's a lot of fun between you guys. I do think you are somewhat social, or you at least have a couple of friends that you really enjoy being around. I get the feeling that one of you, possibly this person, has incorporated you into like their circle of friends, and you really like them. You feel very like warm and comfortable around them. And I bet all this probably freaked you out. It probably made you think like, oh my goodness, this person is completely bringing me into their fold. I'm friends with their friends. I'm spending all this time at their house. Or, maybe they're spending a lot of time at your house, but whatever it is, like you are really incorporating yourselves into each other's lives, and you probably aren't used to that. And it just was overwhelming. I think you got overwhelmed. But I think that they are here to like see you through it. And whenever you see each other, whatever the plan you have is to see each other, whenever that comes to be, I think you're going to have some great conversation about what you want and need from each other. And I'm happy for you guys, because I think that there's a lot of growth here. You guys can both grow quite a bit together. I'm going to put down 2 more oracle cards, just to help get an idea of what's on the radar when you guys meet, because that's why we're here. We already know you have something wonderful. But yeah, let's get a little bit about when you see each other. And this can be like, guidance from spirit, good, like this is just going to be spirit's really going to chime in on this last line and let us know what will happen when you guys see each other. So have faith and embrace your power. So I'm going to go with have faith here. I'm going to take this as this message of have faith is really to you, and embrace your power is really to your partner. And for you, I do think there's trust. You need to trust. You need to open up. And this is something you're kind of ready. You want to do this. It's scary, but you're finally thinking this is like something you can see yourself doing, and you just need to have faith in that, in this person, in the experience, and what you know of them so far. So yeah, when you actually meet them, just have faith, keep your eyes, or not even keep your eyes open. I mean, just look for those clues to make you feel completely secure, and just dive in, say what you want to say, hear them out, whatever it is. But really, if you open your eyes, you're going to see how much they truly do care about you, and how, I think, sincere and loyal they actually are. So a very, very wonderful message. For your partner or this person that you're inquiring about, I've got embrace your power. And I think they do have power in this. They're the gas and you're the brakes. They're the pursuer, you're the pursuee, essentially. So I do think they are in this place to like kind of really put some definition on this, to kind of shape things, to give this a little more gas. And because they want this, they're going to do that. They're going to really lean into this, like they can push the agenda here. And I think you want that from them, but you also want, your own voice, and you want to be able to speak up, which you absolutely can. But they're really going just to let you know, like, hey, this is me, and I'm putting it all out there. Yeah. And I'm going to get 2 more of these personality cards to kind of see, like, when you guys are together, when you meet, like, what are your personalities going to be? Who are you going to, like, moving forward a little bit, who can you be during this meeting when you see each other, and what kind of personality can you bring out? And this is going to be like, I'm going to ask Spirit, what do you need to be when you guys see each other next? I mean, the dog is amazing. I don't want this card to change ever. It's so wonderful. But maybe they need to be more assertive. Maybe they need to be more, not less loyal, but less like accommodating, right? Maybe they need to be a little stronger. Maybe you need to be a little softer. So let's see what personalities and you're going to bring to this meeting. So you've got the crane for watchfulness, and the magpie for duality. And it is like slightly interesting because it's a different dynamic, right? Like this person kind of like embrace your power. The magpie, there's nothing bad about this, by the way, but the magpie is a bird that would come up where, it can represent all these different things. Like this kind of like almost it's Edgar Allan Poe always talked about the raven, but the magpie has that similar quality of the raven, where there's just these like different meanings if you see a magpie, right? But for me, what this means is like this person wants you to know they're not just a loyal puppy dog. There's a lot more to them. They have a lot more depth. They're not always just going to be this nice, I don't want to say doormat, but there's a lot more to them. And maybe if you needed to see that as the crab to really trust them, like you needed to know that they were just more, they could stand on their own. They weren't always looking to you. They don't actually need you, let's say, as much as you might fear they did. They are very much capable and strong. And if you don't want to be with them, or if things don't proceed for you guys, they'll be fine. And I kind of get that with the magpie. It's like there's that dark, like they have an edge. There's a little bit of that kind of sexy, attractive darkness to them. There's more to them. They're not just this loyal puppy dog, but they are good, and they really, really care about you. I think they're honest. I think they're fair. I think they're balanced. I think they are absolutely going to put the work in. And I do think that you guys have so much in common. But yeah, this person has a little edge, and I think they might have more of all those qualities that would make you all in than you realize. And that message is coming to me now a little bit more. Maybe this person has been a little too, I'm going to say accommodating again, a little too eager. And maybe it's made you wonder, like, how can they like me so much so quickly? Or what else do they have to offer? Are they just this person that's obsessed with me? Are they just over the moon about me? Is there anything else there? And yes, this person has a lot of other things, and they don't fall for everyone. You are very unique. And you were sad when things ended. You really were. And the crane for you, there's still this sense of protection with the crane, as they're, this is a flight creature, and they're on a nest, they're protecting, they're watchful, and you're always going to be this person that's going to defend yourself in a way. You're always going to be there to put yourself in this, you're always going to have a guard up to it in a sense, and that's fine. That's just you. It's probably what this person loves about you, but this is a slightly different dynamic. This is, you're watching now, you're listening, you're on the alert, but it's almost like you're looking for a reason to sit on this nest and stay a while, and there's other parts of you you're showing. Like I think there's even a young crane in this nest. And it just makes me think that like you're at a point where you're willing to let someone in, put your guard down, see if it's an okay time to just, relax and lean into things. So I'm just going to leave it here. This is your reading. And when you guys meet up, yes, you're going to show different sides of yourself. You're going to let people in. This person's going to step it up a bit if you want to see a little bit more from them of this kind of crisp, maybe less artistic, less emotional person, and more like like hard, more hardened, let's say. But it is there. They've got a lot to offer, and you're gonna have a great meeting with them. So I'm gonna wrap this up here. This reading went really quickly. It was a great reading, and I hope you like it. If you've listened to this and you're interested in this, please subscribe, like, comment, do whatever feels right. But yes, I'm starting to ask people for their feedback because I really need that now. And yeah, anyway, I hope to hear from you. I hope to get you back for a reading. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye. This is Light and Bone Tarot. You are pile 2. You are letting me read for you for a propylite, which kind of looks like a giant diamond. It's just white and beautiful. And yes, it was almost impossible to see it the way I was doing that. But this is your pile. You picked this kind of clear, it says stay positive. There's something I really like about that stone. So yes, let's get into your amazing reading here. Okay, I am going to find out, I want to see who you guys are, what's going on with you just right now. Where do you stand? What's happening? Oh, and this reading, oh my goodness, this is what will happen next time you see them. So I'm thinking you probably want to see them. I think this is, let's see what happens. We'll get exactly an idea of what's going to happen. Yeah, okay. Ooh, sorry. Here we go. So we've got the 8 of Swords, 10 of Wands, and the Magician. There's something tricky about this. The Magician, I love if it's like a power card given to yourself, because it's kind of like, it's you, it's very dynamic, anything can happen. It's this power. You have all the tools. The 10 of Wands there's a little bit of burden here. And the 8 of Swords is this, it's almost like an isolation or problems that kind of need fixing, that you're searching for answers, you're almost lost. So, okay, where you guys stand right now, I do think there's a solution. I do think if you guys want to be together, you can make this work. And that's what I'm going to take away from the Magician card. Together, you guys have the tools to come together. But I think if you guys combined efforts, you could actually come together. But it can't just be one person wanting it. And if that's the dynamic or the theme right now, that it's just one of you that wants this, I think it's going to be challenging. But I do think if both of you work together, this relationship can work. But I do see that there has been an element of burden. I think there's something very strained about your dynamic. Isolation is kind of like the generic word given to this middle card here, but there is something like, I do feel like you feel like you're alone. I don't know that you really have support from this person right now. And I do think it feels like a burden, and you probably wish there was a magical solution. Like, I just get that right now things aren't easy. It doesn't mean things won't ever be, but right now I think things are hard. I'm going to get a card to sum up kind of who you are right now, or who you've been in this dynamic, and who they've been. Okay, so the Wren, which is humility, and the Salamander, which is fire. So I do think you've given this person a lot of yourself. And I love the Wren. I love Wrens in general. We have a Wren nest in our garage, and it's the sweetest thing ever. But Wrens they're always building their nest. They're always working towards caring for their young. They're always, I think, thinking about how they're where their next home is going to be. They return to their home every year. They probably mate for life. Like, it just seems like a very loyal, sweet, loving creature that wants to set up a home. In fact, I think of that with birds. There's just this kind of desire to almost to find a partner in a bird. Whereas the salamander represents fire, passion, creativity. We see him on tarot come up a lot for the wands. It's that action, it's that doing, it's that drive of like passion. There's just this energy behind the salamander. I think the salamander can also have an element of loyalty, but I wouldn't say there's anything tricky about the salamander, but I would say that there's almost something slippery. There could be something a little bit slick about the salamander. They might be a little self-serving. They might, and the salamander, it's like they can live in water. They can live in a mud puddle. They can live under a piece of wood in a stream. Like, they're very adaptive, and they will do whatever they can do to survive. And I just feel like your person is, I think this partner of yours that you are going to be seeing, and you want to know what's going to happen when you see them. I think they're slippery. I think they're hard to pin down. And I think that this has created a bit of a burden for you. I think that you do feel isolated. I would say that if we had to say if one person wants the other more in this relationship, that it is you. Right now, you are probably the pursuer. I couldn't say yet how this person, feels about you. But the salamander, to me, they're looking for something specific. Okay. And I think this is just an energy that I'm getting off of this person. They know what they want. And if you aren't what they want, then you might not ever be. With all the magic in the world, it might not ever be you. So I want you to take that, even though that's not like a beautiful message to take away, but it is a takeaway. If this reading turns out to not give you exactly what you want when you see them. But because there's kind of this question mark on the table, I'm going to ask more direct questions, like when you see them, what will actually happen? So I want to get a feeling of like, when you meet them, what's the vibe? What's the energy going to be? And then we'll build up some tarot around that. I want to know the vibe. Okay, so have faith as a general vibe. This came up in the last reading. I don't know why I always mention that. Like, you don't need to know, nor should you care what came up in the last reading. It's just always interesting to me because I shuffle so much, and then to have the same card show up, it's like it's here for a reason. I guess I would say you would have to have faith. You would have to go into this positive. You'd have to be strong. You'd have to assume that whatever the outcome is, you're going to be fine. And I think you will be, because I do think that you are so sure of what you want. You know you want, let's say, a commitment, a relationship, a family, whatever it is, a home, that you're not really going to settle for less than that. And like a mother bird who will work tirelessly to build her home, her foundation, her nest, her world, she's not going to stop at anything. We've actually had to close our garage so that this wren doesn't continue to build her nest there because it's too much stress. Like, what if the garage is closed and she can't get to her babies? So we've had to work very hard to keep this wren out. I think we've succeeded this year, but my point is that she will find another nest. Even though she wants this one nest so bad, she will always find another nest to build her home. And I think that that's kind of where you are right now. Like, you will give this everything you've got until you realize, like, okay, it has actually become a burden. I do feel isolated. It's going to take some magic to make this work. And then you'll be out and you'll peace out and you'll be done. And that's great. I don't think that you're going to suffer this broken heart over this at all. I think you're actually very, very strong. And this person, interestingly enough, I could see this dynamic with you guys going where this person you're inquiring about, might even think that they are unaffected by you. They might think that that you're truly not their type, when in actuality, they might like you more than they realize. And I could see them being quite sad if things didn't actually work out, because they just didn't. It's like they didn't see you were right in front of them, and they never really saw how great you were or what could be. But at this point, you will truly have moved on. Like, you won't wish that you were back with them. You won't give them a second chance or third or fifth or whatever at that point. If that's what happens, I really think you're going to be totally done, because you'll find the next thing that suits you. My goodness, excuse me, whatever that is. It's going to be exactly what you want and what makes you happy and what you've looked for. It could be you being single. It could be you in a throuple. It could be a million things, but I'm just saying it's going to be you being very, very happy. So either way, you're going to be happy. And I do want to stress that, because that when I first talked about this, I saw that maybe you're struggling a little bit right now, but we will figure this out. And you know, I do want to point out, like, between this Magician and the Salamander, there's an energy going this way. Like, they are focused on you. There is more of a focus on you than you realize. So you're not totally like on an island here. I do think that this person cares about you, maybe even more than you realize. And this is part of the have faith when you go into this meeting. So let's learn a little bit about this. And I call it a meeting, but in general, this is just whenever you see them. I can't tell or feel if you have a plan to meet this person right now. I almost feel like you know where you can bump into this person, or you know where you can, I don't know, a route they take to work or to the store, or a store they shop in, or whatever. I feel like there's a way you can actually kind of casually, accidentally bump into this person, and that might be the meeting you're inquiring about. But whatever it is, whether you plan to sit down meal together, or whether you've accidentally bump into them, whatever, there will be, I do think that it will be positive, because I've got this have faith message. So let's not go down a road of it not be nice when you guys meet. So, okay, what's this meeting going to be like for you guys? And so we have, the 8 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles. And this is basically, I mean, this is like patience, and this is like, I don't want to say stuck, because that's not the right word. There's like the 4 of Pentacles is someone who's like budgeting, like they're almost not budging. It's almost like this digging your heels in kind of energy, but in regards to not withholding. It's like a withholding, right? But not necessarily your words or your emotions, although in this way it kind of could be. But I do feel like this meeting is going to try your patience. I actually think you're probably going to want more out of this person than you're going to get in this next meeting. Now, we have faith here, so it doesn't mean that this is really a bad thing, because maybe things need to move slower with this person. Maybe that's all they really need, is just a little more time to like process and see that you actually are a very good fit for them. But I do think that whenever you meet them, you are going to have patience. I don't see that everything's just going to unfold in this, beautiful, like, romantic comedy-esque kind of way. I think there's going to be a bit of a process that's going to have to take place before you really get what you want out of this person. But I do think that the next time you see each other, you are going to get answers. There's going to be some clarity. And I think I have no reason to think it won't be good because of the have faith card. This is like a very positive message. And there is something very, just positive about it. And again, there's this direction, there's this energy and almost like a light and focus that's going towards you. And I really want to put the emphasis on that. This top sword is directed towards you. So there's more energy and intention and purpose coming off this person going towards you than I even realized in the very beginning. And you probably feel that. You probably know that. That's why you probably keep returning, like a little bird that keeps returning. You do feel this. It's almost like they're pulling you in somehow. But I do think there's going to be a balancing act with this person. And to get what you want, it might take a little bit more time. And I don't know that it's going to be fun in the beginning. I think that things might move very slowly and they might feel very stagnant. In other words, I really don't think you're going to have this meeting where everything just instantly unfolds before your eyes and you're right back at it. But if you ever were even at it. But I do think there's hope. Okay, so let's get a little bit more about the next time you guys see each other. So we've got the Moon and the 3 of Pentacles. So I do think you will start, this is hopeful. This is like building a foundation, the beginning, the building blocks, right? That's what I get off of the 3 of Pentacles. And this is like a teamwork, like a working together, a construction. Even though things are probably going to move slowly for you guys, which isn't bad, I do think that you're going to start building something. Whether you start like having conversations, whether a conversation comes up that maybe you've never had that you've always wanted to, a topic gets brought up, but you're going to start addressing things or doing something more than you've ever done before. And I do think that there's going to be this kind of like groundbreaking energy to the next time you guys meet up. Again, it's not going to be this like earth shattering thing, because I do think things are going to take a while, and it's almost going to feel like you're trudging through quicksand, but that's not a bad thing, because I think there's a light at the end of your tunnel. I really am going to say that. And that is a very like strong positive message, considering in the beginning I thought that this was someone that you hopelessly pined away for. But now I see that there's more dynamic between you two than I actually realized. But the moon still gives us this, in this context, I think of the moon, it's this feminine energy. It's this lunacy almost. It's this like, you desperately want answers or clarity, and there's still a little bit of darkness, confusion. And again, that makes me think that when you leave this person, the next time you meet them, whether you're walking away, you're walking away from them, you're leaving their house, whatever it is, I do think you're going to like still be scratching your head. Things are going to be good and they're going to be much better, but it's not like you're going to have all your answers. And this is where the patience and that like mucking through the mud feeling is going to come for you, because you're going to still feel a little bit stuck. And I do think this sense of burden and quite possibly isolation, it's still going to be there a little bit, because you're not going to have all the answers, but things are going to get better. I guess I could almost say they're on the mend, but I just think new conversations, new actions, new habits, like new things are going to be unfolding for you guys. And I do think you're going to start to see this off your next encounter. So yeah, this is very positive. And again, we have the have faith here, and this is exciting for me. I love that have faith card, because I'm going to keep coming back to it. This is the card that quite frankly told me like, oh, wait a minute, like this isn't all bad. You do have a chance in the world at making this work if this is what you want. So that's great. I'm now going to get a couple more oracle cards, and then I'm going to get like this personality card to we're going to ask Spirit, like let's say we don't want you to always be the wren, and we don't want your person to always be the salamander. We want you to grow. And if you're going to come back together, maybe, everyone has to change. Let's see who you should change into. Like, what's a new energy or kind of like a new persona that you should bring, show a new side of yourself you should show this person, and vice versa. So we'll do that in a second, but just 2 cards of what's in store for you guys from Spirit when you meet. We've got think things through and address your addictions. Interesting, because this card very rarely comes up. For think things through, I am going to say this, like, maybe this person could be bat crazy in love with you. Maybe they are, I don't know, maybe they are just so dynamic, so interesting, so sexy. So maybe they're everything you want. Maybe they do have addictions. Maybe they have some demons, some darkness. Maybe they're dealing with some shit. Maybe that's the reason they've been so slippery. Maybe they disappear for a few nights on end and you don't hear from them, and this goes on every week. You don't hear from them from 3 nights and you don't know where they are or what they're doing. And who knows, maybe they do have some issues that they have to work through. So the address your addictions is a pretty straightforward message that I want you to be aware of. This person might not be your person. You might be able to make them crazy about you. You might be able to win and succeed, get them back or get them, period. I'm not sure, but they might have another side to them that you maybe haven't focused on yet. But to me, this is just a warning. Again, we still have faith. I still think that there's a lot of almost goodness that this person does feel for you. But yeah, this is a card that we're not going to ignore. And think things through is kind of like another warning card. And maybe that's because when you see them, things are going to go really well, better than you could have hoped, better than I'm even telling you right now. And this is a moment of pause. This is to take a moment, to take a minute and actually think things through. It doesn't have to be in that actual meeting next time you see them, but as you walk away, as you process things, take the time. And honestly, up here I said, we're going to have this like this almost stagnant, this pause, this time where things take a while, this lunacy aspect. Maybe this is you. Maybe this is you actually giving them a mind fuck. Maybe they know that you've wanted them so long and so bad for so long, and then they're going to pour their heart out to you, and you're like, I honestly don't know if I'm into this person. Maybe I don't like them as much as I thought I did. Maybe they aren't as amazing as I thought they were. And again, we've already established you're going to be fine. You're fine. You've got everything you need. You can build your house, your future, your family, your life. You're fine. And I'm getting a little bit more now that it's almost, you're stronger than I realized. I didn't give you enough credit in the top, but you aren't quite as meek and needy as you might come off. There's a lot more to you. And this person probably isn't all they're cracked up to be either. And I'm just kind of seeing that message play out here. And I could almost see, even with the moon card, that you might change your tune. You might confuse them. You might make them think like, oh my God, this chick is crazy. Like, I thought she was in love with me. You were so into me. You wanted me so bad, whatever. And now you're kind of like, you can't even tell me what you want. I'm asking you, what do you want? And you're going to be like, I don't know. I have to think about it. And this could actually be the message. This could be the energy of when you guys meet, them pursuing you and you not even knowing if you're into it. That is a very real probability that I'm getting off these cards. But yeah, let me get the personality cards of when you guys meet up, or kind of your future together. What identities can you take on? And this is kind of like I'm asking spirit, like, who should you be? Who do you want them to be? Who can they turn into? But for you, we've got the hare, which is rebirth, and I like that. And then for this other person, we have the robin. So now they get to be the helpful little bird. Okay, the hare to me is someone very, very strong. It's someone kind of like wise beyond their years. It's not a little bunny rabbit. This is like a strong hare. They're big, they're strong, they're mighty. They're cute, but they're not even like that cute. Like, this is a very sweet, cute little adorable creature. This is something totally different. And there's a strength. They're going to see a side of you they did not see before. And the hare makes, they dig a hole in the ground and they live in it. Like, they are not searching for a million pieces to make a home, for everything to be perfect. I think things are very different for the hare. There is an absolute capability there that I think this person's going to see you in a new light, and you're going to take on more of this hare energy. And they're calling this rebirth, and it is kind of going to be your rebirth. You can shed this Ren gentleness, this humility, this this timidity that maybe you've taken on before, and you're going to be a lot stronger. And you're probably going to see things differently too. The hare has a different viewpoint. They just see things differently. And that's when you might be like, oh, that thing I loved about you before, I actually think that it might be something you need to address. Or yeah, whereas now this person is going to go to the robin. And the title here is helpful. And the robin there's something I think very kind and good about the robin. However, I do see robins as being slightly gluttonous little creatures. And they are somewhat fleeting. They are, I think, only around a few months of the year. In the spring and summer, I don't know, there's something about the robin, like, I wouldn't really be trying to date the robin. And this might be a warning, like, this is kind of the character that this person could step into. And you loved the salamander. I don't know that you love them. You're attracted to the salamander. You're drawn to this energy that they have. But I don't know that the robin would do it for you in quite the same way that the salamander would. And honestly, I don't know that I even see the hare and the robin really vibing. And they are both kind of looking away. I honestly think when you guys meet up, based on these cards, I think you're going to see that your thoughts and this dynamic does kind of a 180 and things switch a little bit. That's what I think. And we'll see. But if you would comment and let me know what happens, I would love it. If this seems to track or if it's interesting to you, please let me know. yes, if you could like, subscribe, comment, interact with this video in any way you feel comfortable, it would mean everything. So thank you so much for being here, and please come back for more readings, and just thank you so much. Goodbye. Rainbow and Tarot, thank you so much for being here. You are letting me read for you. This is pile 2, or oh my goodness, 3, pile 3. And we have Jade, which is green and pretty, and it just makes me think of like success or just good things. Yes, we are doing a reading for what will happen the next time you see them. So I'm assuming that you guys either have a plan to meet up, or you are going to bump into them. Somehow you guys are going to see each other, and this is kind of what to expect. And I will say that I really enjoyed these last 2 readings. They've been very specific and actually, for me, oddly positive. So let's get right into it. Okay, so this is just like, I'm going to do 3 tarot cards. What's going on with you guys right now? What's your situation? What's happening with you guys? 7 of Wands in the center, like that. 9 of Pentacles, and again, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm just going to say very, very hopeful, right? To me, I don't know why you guys aren't together yet, obviously, but it seems like you guys probably should be together. It seems like you guys really click. It seems like you're very similar. I feel like you guys are aligned. You want the same things. You operate in very, almost like uniquely similar ways. I just feel like there's this very interesting, alignment between you two, and probably more than you've felt with either anyone or many other people that you've been with. Like, and there's also, I feel like when you guys were together or were dating, or maybe you're friends and you're together a lot, I'm not sure, but when you guys are actually together, I do think that just good things happen. You have a very positive, energetic connection. You're happy together. You enjoy your time together. And I'm saying that because these 2 Pentacle cards are like very strongly positive cards of like having the things you want. Like a lot of it is material, but there's also this like home, this foundation, this body that you're in, this body that you're with. Like it's what you want. It's what you're here for. And that does make me think that things are just very aligned. Like you have this kind of beautiful vibration and frequency that you guys experience when you're together. And even with the 7 of Wands cards, it's like, it's not an accident that you guys are here. This is intentional. You guys both probably in your own way like manifested this. I don't know why you're not together right now. I don't know what is the reason, what came of why you're not here. It's almost like there was this kind of divide where one of you went this way and one of you went that way, or there was, I don't know, something that broke you apart either. And maybe it's a job, maybe like physically someone had to be somewhere else. Or maybe someone's family got in the way. Like, I just feel like something happened, someone, something, some person, some event that kind of split you guys. And I don't know that it's something you can't get past or whatever. I don't know. But I do think that you guys have something, and you absolutely had something very real, very strong. So I'd love to think you could get back to it, but we will get there. So I'm going to get 2 cards. These are my personality cards. I'm going to take this of kind of who you are and who you've been in this dynamic. And I'm going to say you're the turtle, and this is practicality, and your partner is the loyalty. So these are just, there's something so simple and pared down about these 2 character cards. Obviously seeing your partner as the loyal dog who's just facing you and looking in, and then seeing you as this practical turtle who's just, I don't know, slow and steady. And I don't know, there's something just very cautious, but also intentional. Like, I don't think either one of you are like these silly, giddy people. You might be, I see you having fun together. I think both of you know how to have fun. I think you both have the resources to enjoy yourself. You both know how to have a good time, but you're not these just silly nonsense, like these nonsensical people. I think you're very, you guys are both kind, you're good. I think you guys are both very smart. there's kind of this like wisdom between you two. And you may be more of the thinker and they may be more of the action. But whatever it is, it's still this mellow vibe. Yet I think both of you work very hard. I think you're both successful. I think you both have all the things you kind of want. Like you're at a point in your life where things are really just working, and together, I think you guys were very happy. I really do. And I think I just see that things were very chill for you guys. Like, I don't think there was a lot of stress. I don't think things were like hectic. I really don't. I think there was something that happened that, like I said, split you guys. And literally it could have been like a move, or someone had to leave, or someone's family like really needed attention and they didn't have time for you, but something that really wasn't expected. And and it obviously is a bummer. However, there's something about you guys where I don't think either one of you are losing sleep over this. Like, either you're so confident that you know things are going to work out because you each have this similar mantra where if you want something and you work at it hard enough, you get it. So maybe you're not worried. Maybe you know when you see each other, things are going to be fine. Maybe you know you're going to wind up with this person, or maybe you know you aren't, and that's fine too. But I just don't get this stress coming from you. I get this like, you are both on the same page and you almost just know that it's going to work out. I feel like you really do want it to work out, but I'm not getting stress from you or your partner. But let's see what's going to happen when you guys do see each other. Let me get like a card to just, what's the theme? What's the general theme of your next meeting going to be? Live life to the fullest, which is something you guys do. And you don't do it like, you're not the couple that's out partying the latest. You're not, I don't know. I don't think you're like going to Peru and doing ayahuasca together. Although I wouldn't put it past you guys, because I think the resources are there and I could see like a very logical conversation emerging about anything that's like extreme. You guys would find a way to talk it through and probably decide on the rational outcome. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you guys are, buying tickets to every music festival and just blowing your money. But I do think you guys know how to have a good time. And I think you have the very similar ideas of what a good time is. I see you guys sitting down to like a very nice meal, drinking nice wine, or having a nice, top shelf cocktail and just talking about work or something. Like, very, very chill. But I do feel like you guys are both very good people, very easy to be around, and you just like attracts like here. And that's the vibe. Okay. So your next meeting, live life to the fullest, which really does make me think that when you meet, it's going to be enjoyable. You're going to enjoy it. And given the circumstance that like you probably haven't seen each other in a while, whatever that is, it could be a year, it could be a month, I don't know. But I think you're in for a really sweet treat when you do actually come together and meet up. And I just got this weird kind of, I wouldn't say vision, but just this almost message, like physically, you guys might come together more physically than you expected when you guys meet up. So I don't know, like you guys could be having drinks at a nice hotel and then get a hotel room that night or something. I don't know, but I just got this feeling like there's going to be this physicality aspect to your next meeting that I'm sure will be well received and welcome from both of you. I don't know why, something made me think of that. But okay, let's see here. So I've got a little bit more from you guys, Son of Cups and Wheel of Fortune. And there is an intimacy card here. There is this kind of like outpouring of emotions. This very romantic quality comes off this card. And it does make me think of like, I don't know, like this kind of knight in shining armor, but in a very like sincere, sweet way, not in a cheesy way, not over the top, but very loving, and absolutely could lead to this like this physical outpouring of affection, which I kind of again see for your next meeting, and I'm not sure why, but and then the Wheel of Fortune, it is kind of this chance, like it's almost like when you see this person, I don't know, like you'll be taking a chance for some reason. Like maybe you think that things aren't going to change. Maybe this person lives in another state now and you're almost like, what's the point? Why are we doing this? Or maybe there was a reason you broke up that hasn't changed for whatever reason. And it doesn't even have to be anything bad. Like maybe someone, I don't know, like is so busy with work and they really can't dedicate themselves to anything else right now. Or maybe finances are lower than usual right now and like they've got to get up. I don't know, but I do get the sense that when you guys come together, there is going to be this kind of like almost like unexpected fuck it quality. Like let's see where this goes. Let's see what happens. And I see that in a way that it's going to be different than your personalities normally. Whereas I think things are much more planned between you guys. I think you guys are both very like analytical people. And I just get the energy of when you meet up, it's going to be very different. It's going to feel very exciting. I just get this like sexy vibe off of it. There's just going to be this, when you guys come together, I think it's going to be very different than the dynamic you knew. I'm not saying that's going to reshape your dynamic from here on out. I just think you're going to have a very, very enjoyable time together. And that's nice. Because you are going to, I don't know, maybe both of you are going to put your guard down. Maybe it has been up a little bit. Maybe you haven't seen each other in longer than I realize. I could see that being the case. And this has been like a long overdue meeting for you guys. And I feel like you guys really, you have something. Maybe you have kids together. Maybe you're, I don't know, divorced. Maybe you've been together for a long time. Maybe whatever it is, I do think there's something very real and strong, and there's like a foundation between you two. And yeah, I just think your meeting is going to be very positive and very exciting for both of you in your own way. Okay, let's get a little bit more about it. So there will be a sense of, like budgeting, but not of necessarily finances, but of like, there's almost protecting, right? Like, let me get this card to go with it. Interesting. Okay. So there is the awareness that you guys broke up for a reason or aren't together for a reason. That's still going to be there, right? It's not like that is just going to totally disappear. And it's good that that's going to be there, because you don't want this meeting or this next time you guys come together, you don't want it to feel too good to be true. Like in the sense that you guys completely and utterly weren't yourselves. You lost the plot. You were focusing on the physical and nothing got accomplished. Like that's not going to be the case, even though I think you're going to have an incredible time, very dynamic, very fun, very interesting. You're still going to realize that, look, whatever broke us apart for whatever reason, it still exists. But we're back to the Pentacles. We're back to building that home, that foundation. And with the Magician card, I think you guys are going to really try to find a way to make things work. I really do. I think that you're going to have equal parts fun and like friskiness on this meeting. And then I think you're also going to have this like coming together. You're going to put your heads together and you're going to be like, where do we stand? What is in front of us? What can we work with? What are we doing? What do we want? And I like this because it's a little bit of both. And this is how you guys are. You guys are the logical, you're the planners, you're the, you do things everything you do is for a reason. It's thought through. So to think that you were just going to like meet up and have this, crazy wild time together, that's not your guys' brand. It's not who you are. It's fun and it's exciting to leave a little bit up to chance and kind of run with it, but you're still going to hold true to who you are. And I think you guys are going to have some real conversation. You're going to address some of the issues that broke you up in the first place. And you're really going to get down to like, brass tacks, and you're going to figure things out. I kind of see you guys winding up together ultimately. I really do. But if you don't wind up together, I also get this very strong message that that's okay too. I think you guys love each other very much. I think you really care about each other. I think things are very good for you guys overall. But I also think you guys each have your own lives that you are living. And coming together would take a lot of effort. It would actually take work. It wouldn't just be this like conversation and this hookup and now you're together. I think it takes more than that. There's more layers and dynamics at play here, but not impossible. It's just not going to happen overnight, and it is going to take planning. But you guys both know how to plan. You both know how to execute. You know how to strategically, come up with a plan. And execute. Oh my goodness. There we go. So I am going to get from Spirit, we're going to get kind of this on this next meeting. Like what do we see for this again? What's going to be the theme? What's going to happen? What are some like kind of gifts from Spirit? Like this just, they're not warnings, but they're here's what you can look forward to. Here's what you need to keep in mind. Here's what you need to watch out for. So kind of for you, we have make a plan. And for your person, we have face your shadow. And then I'll have 2 personality cards in a minute. Make a plan. You always make plans, right? So this is nothing new to you. I think this would be a reminder to just don't lose yourself. Stay true. Don't get caught up in maybe this excitement, this giddiness, like really stick with your plan. There's a reason, there's a purpose to these things. And come back around to your plan, to the real meaning behind it all. And which I think is very good. And for your person, we've got face your shadow. And so for whatever reason why you guys aren't together, there's nothing to make me think it's on one person. I do think there was an event, like I said, something happened that kind of split you guys, and it could have been more on your partner for whatever reason. And maybe that is something that needs to be addressed. Maybe they do need to undo some of the things they did. I'm not sure, but the face your shadow it does tell me that as good as I think your person is, they're not perfect. It reminds you that they're not perfect. And it also tells you that you do need to go into this meeting really being clear about what you want. And I don't know, just there's just a little bit of a warning here. Like, even though you guys are amazing and you're great together, and I do see that you guys could absolutely be together, I think you've been together for a long time. That's kind of the vibe I get here, that this isn't fresh or new. This is something you guys really know each other. There's a history here. So getting back together could feel easy, but it needs to be, you don't want to just jump back into it. You really want to address a few things and figure it out. But I think your person has probably some shadow work to do, as everyone does. But this is them making some changes, addressing some things, and probably talking to you about it. And you're probably one of the few people in the world, or the only person that they would talk to this about. But I do think there's going to be a serious side to your meeting as well. And I'm going to get 2 cards now, finally, to just show, like, what are some personalities you're going to bring into this? Like, what are you've been the practical turtle, they've been the loyal dog, but moving forward together, like, what are some new energies that you're going to be taking on in a good way? And so for you, we've got the raccoon, survival. And for your person, we have the donkey, stubbornness. And I did just say in a good way, and yet here we are with cards that don't have this like tremendously uplifting message. But it's a message all the same. So for you, the survival, we know you're strong. And I have no doubt that you have all the resources, all the faculty, all the strength, the support system, the people. I think you have everything you need to be fine on your own. I get the feeling you've been kind of on your own. And this is a message you're going to carry out. The more I look at this, I do think that whatever happened with you guys, this person, your partner's a little bit more to blame. If we had to point a finger, it could be pointed at this person. Maybe they were hasty in making a decision that ultimately broke you guys up. Maybe there was something they did selfishly, where they're not normally a very selfish person, and then that had consequences. I'm not sure, but there's something that happened, I think, that we can kind of pinpoint to this person. And they do, I think the onus is on them to make things right. And I do think you need to, hold on to that. And you're fine. You're fine on your own. I love raccoons. They're little bandits. They get exactly what they want. They do what they want. They go where they want. I don't think they're far from starving. They always run in a little clan. I like the idea of the raccoon for anyone who's I don't even know if you are single right now. I don't know. There's a blur kind of around that for me, but you're strong. You do exactly what you want. And you do have this kind of, at this point, there is a no fucks, almost unapologetic sense to you. But you are still, you're kind, you're loving, you're all that. But you are less practical and more self-serving at this point in your life, I think. So yeah, you're going to do exactly what you need to do. And your partner, this person that you're going to be meeting up with and that this whole reading's about, I really loved both of you guys equally in the beginning, and I saw this very beautiful past for you guys, and I still stand by that. But I do think that your partner has a little more, I always say someone has more of an edge when I don't know what to say, because it doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean they have ill will or they're poor intentioned. They're nothing like that, but there's just a little bit more of a sharpness to them than I saw initially. And with the stubbornness coming off the donkey, that's, all men are stubborn. Everyone's stubborn. I feel like men are more stubborn. But I do get this sense of like digging their heels in, and almost to the point of like maybe they're going to be less apologetic than you'd hoped. Their shadow could be their stubbornness. That could be the part of them that does need to be addressed. And maybe they will be addressing it. Maybe this donkey card isn't saying that they're going to be more stubborn, but maybe they're going to start addressing this, because I love them as the loyal dog. And I think they really have embodied this in the past. But if there's something they need to work on, it probably does come down to that stubborn, bullheaded, and that can be, that's such a businessman-like quality in a way, not to be totally like sexist. And this could absolutely be about a woman. You could be a woman inquiring about a woman, a man inquiring about a woman, but let's just say there's this male energy one way or the other of this, just this masculine stubbornness. And yeah, again, that can be, I can see that in someone who's very successful or trying to be successful or whatever. But for your meeting, I do see a heavy physical aspect to it. I do see you guys taking on a different like personas or energies than you have before. Something like a little more careless and reckless, but in still a positive way. I think you guys really are going to like open your hearts up, spill feelings of love and emotion. You're really going to open up to one another. And there's going to be this kind of like take a chance aspect to it. But whatever the problem is, it's still there. But I do think if you guys want to make things work, I really have this feeling you absolutely can. And I do think that this next meeting could start to put that wheel in motion for you guys. I think it could be very positive. I also think it could go absolutely nowhere and almost set you guys back it could go either way, but if you do everything that you feel you need to do, like in your heart, if you're honest with yourself and with them and vice versa, I really do think that things could go very well for you guys. So I'll just end it there. It's an interesting reading. It has a more positive than not angle to it. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you would comment, like, subscribe, do anything you can to interact with this video, I'd love it and really appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again for a reading. Thank you. Goodbye. Bone Tarot, thank you so much for being here. You are letting me read for you, and we are doing a reading for what will happen next time you see them. So this is pile 4, the last reading, and we have tourmalinated quartz. It looks like an antique button or something. I love this. I can't imagine anything that looks like that in real life, but it is stunning. So here we are. We are going to get right into your reading for what will happen the next time you see them. So to get a feeling of this, I just want to know where you guys stand. Like, where do you stand right now? What's the story with you guys? We have the 6 of Swords, Mother of Pentacles, and the Devil. Interesting. So the 6 of Swords to me is like bright horizons. You're leaving behind this baggage, this pain, this struggle. You're, whether together or individually, you're like on this mission for something better, right? And I'm actually seeing this divide. And I do think that you probably left the relationship because you needed more, you needed something better. I don't think this person was meeting your needs. And I actually see you as the Mother of Pentacles and them as the Devil. And I love the Mother of Pentacles and I hate the Devil. But I love the Mother of Pentacles. She is this earthy, sultry, lovely, like hands-on. There's just this there's abundance there. There's creativity. There's this like earthbound kind of goddessy creature. It's like the Empress. It's similar to that energy, just a little more directed towards like maybe like house, home, family. But anyway, there's something very, I just keep going back to earthy. So anyway, if you're the Mother of Pentacles, you're lovely. You are a delight. There's something like appealing, sexy about you. You're a dream, right? And if your person's the Devil, I almost don't need to see anything more about them. However, I do think with the Devil card, there's so many shades of this. This can be someone who's a lovely person but succumbs to addictions. It can be someone who's truly a demon, or it can be someone who maybe has like, I don't know, another side to their personality that they can't control. And, poor them, they can be a nightmare to deal with. Like, I don't know the depth of how awful they are, but I do feel that you did leave the relationship because you were like, there's something better up ahead. However, I think it was hard on you. I think you really cared about this person. You might still really love them, and they might not be an actual, demon of a person. They might just be, they might have put you through hell, quite frankly. It really could be that simple. So I'm going to get 2 like character cards, to who you were in the relationship. Like, not necessarily now, because I'm going to move into that, but I want to know who you were in this relationship, as a personality. And we've got the wagtail, which is restlessness, and the wolf, freedom. So I'm going to say, just with the wolf card, and the Devil for your partner, they probably were controlling. The wolf to me is, and when I see freedom, like, yeah, I don't think of the wolf as a bad, it's them, right? They do what they want. They intimidate, they bully, they scare, they run free. They are literally like that. No fences, no holds barred. Like the wolf does. Oh, and they're so smart. They're so, they're everything, right? So I get how the wolf could also be the Devil, but there's nothing bad about the wolf. This is a great, great, strong person. But there is that kind of fierce independence to them. And I do think it's someone that can do whatever they need to do to survive. So maybe that was succumb to addictions. Maybe that was do the only thing they've known, which is something they always do, and it's not a good thing. Like these habits, right, that are very hard on their partner. I'm not sure, but I don't necessarily think that they're a bad person just based off what I'm seeing, but I do think that they hurt you, and they probably acted in a way that someone you wouldn't want to be with someone who acted this way. And the relationship ended. I think you ended it. I think you left because you needed to take care of yourself. You needed to be happier. You aren't someone who can handle being unhappy. I don't think you handle stress well. I think you want a home base. You want to feel grounded. And I just think this person made you feel like just too free, like too without answers, without direction, like too much of a wanderer. And yeah, and so the wagtail, the restlessness, when I think of birds, I do think of that kind of nervous energy. And I don't think you have that, but I think you had that in this relationship. And I think it's because the wolf of your partner and the energy they gave off was hard on you, and they did some bad things and made you nervous. You couldn't relax, quite frankly. You just couldn't relax in this relationship. And I don't know what your next meeting is going to be like. I actually think you're probably pretty nervous about this. I don't know that you're going into it with a sense of like calm and serenity and confidence. I think you're probably pretty nervous. So let's get some more cards to find out what your next meeting, what's going to happen when you see them. And so I'm going to do one oracle card to just kind of sum it up. And we've got choose friends wisely, which is interesting. It's an interesting card for summing up your next meeting. I'm going to get 2 more cards to see how this can help, what your next meeting is going to be like. And this is kind of you. So this is friendship. This is a card of not so much romance, but it's friends. It's finding your pack. I think It's friendship in the way of like knowing that you have people who care about you and you care about people. There's this open flow of communication. Like this is the card to remind you, you are someone that can attract people. People like your company. You're a good person. And you have friends. You have a support system. It's actually there for you. And the Six of Pentacles is someone who there's a charity associated with this card. There's a goodness. There's someone who gives back. There's someone who cares about others. So very much this Mother of Pentacles. And I don't know about the Choose Friends Wisely card. I'm going to have to think about this, but somehow this pertains to the next time you see them. And I don't know if this person has a circle of friends that is not a good influence, that is all bad. I don't know if you have friends that hate this person and don't ever want you to get back with them, and that's a hardship. I'm not sure, but I do feel like there's outside influence that is kind of potentially hurting you guys getting back together. And it might be, I wasn't saying it might be there for a reason, but this is kind of a warning, like choose your friends wisely. And it doesn't mean you have to cut someone out of your life. It's, we can bend this wording a bit to basically mean like, just be careful of the input you take from your friends. Like, don't let your friends dictate or decide, the course of your dynamic with this person or the future of your relationship. And that might be a warning to say, you know what, like, maybe this person isn't all bad. Maybe they're a wonderful person and you guys should be together, and don't listen to your friends. Or maybe it's a warning saying, like I said, this person has a rotten group of friends, and they've kind of become people you associate with, and you quite frankly need to cut them all out of your life. I don't know the message here, but there's something about like a birds of a feather or a kind of stand up for yourself vibe. And maybe if you did have this kind of bird-like energy, this restlessness, maybe your friends thought they needed to protect you and care for you more than they really did. And maybe they're still providing this input, and you're like, I don't need it, guys. Like, I'm actually quite strong. I'm fine. But you do have friends who love you. You do have, I think, people who are around you for the right reasons. I think you're good to them. I think they're good to you. This is just a little warning for whatever reason you'll understand it. But okay, let's get them on your next meeting. So we've got Ace of Pentacles and Father of Swords. I think they're going to have an agenda when they meet you. And I don't know what this agenda is, but I think they're going to try to defend themselves in a way. And I feel like they've been thinking about this. I feel like they've put thought into this. I don't know if they're coming at you with an apology. They might. It could be something like that. It could be them defending themselves. I definitely see them defending themselves. I definitely see them having this like points of like, this happened for this reason. I don't know that I see them apologizing. Whatever it is, this meeting, the next time you see them, I think you're going to come with this like kindness, this, I want to say sweetness, but there's more to it than just sweetness. I think you're going to come with this like very calm, rational, like, I did what I had to do for me. I'm fine. I'm happy. My life is good. Almost this like take it or leave it energy. And I think they're going to be like, I did what I had to do. And I almost feel like they're going to have this, I don't see a softness from them. Let's put it that way. I don't see them putting down their guard. I see them being very, and this could change. I'm going to do this last line, and this actually could change. I might get a different picture off of what I see in your next meeting. But I guess if I look at this and I look at the Choose Friends Wisely, and I see you here as someone who definitely is like backed by friends, whereas they're more kind of like this loner, this person who's in their thoughts, who's almost tormented, and who maybe wants to make like this new start and this new beginning, but they're not sure how. I still see they're just in this weird, icky phase. I don't know that I see that they've changed a lot. Let's put it that way. And I think that if they had a manipulative quality to them, or if there was a part of them that like over talked or took over the situation or dominated the conversation, or like put in trickery a little bit, like send out a red herring where you leave one argument and abandon it for another because they say, like, let's say you accuse them of doing something bad and then they deflect it with like, oh, well, I did that because I was going through this. And then you're now focused on the thing they were going through, and you lose the plot, which was why they did something bad. But now it's not even about that. It's about them and their issues. I just feel like there's going to be a bit of that going on in the next meeting with them, which means I don't think they're going to come correct with an apology. And there's just something about this where you come with this goodness, this sweetness, this very real, not like you're going to be a doormat for them or let them walk all over you, but you're just going to be very real. You know how to be a good friend. You know how to be a good person. And there's still going to be kind of scrambling, like clinging to like thoughts and random facts and pieces of information that they're going to throw at you. And you're just going to be like, huh, why, what are you even talking about? That's what I'm getting off of your next meeting, but we're going to get more. There's more to it. But I don't love your person. I don't hate them. I kind of think they're just a victim of their own circumstance. Either they had a hard life coming up, or they've struggled and now this is where they're at. Maybe they really do have an addictive personality. I don't know, but there's something and when I see the wolf, it's like there is, there's that ever so slight thing that makes you think of a dog and a wolf. They're quite different actually, but wolf's a canine, so they're similar enough, right? And there is that loyalty to the wolf, and they do have a pack, and they do, but I just think their pack is different than your pack. The friends, the friends they run with, the people they hold their loyalties to, and what those loyalties like boil down to, how they perform in this kind of like way that they're expected to be loyal is probably very different than how you are with your friends and the standards that your friends hold you to. I'm like trying to think of an example without like just totally getting like, I mean, like it's almost like you're this very normal, logical, smart person who is kind, who is good. You're not a doormat, but you're just a good person. You're earthy. You're kind of like a little bit of a hippie, and you're someone who would go off and hike and connect with nature and then have a beer with friends. Like you're simple, but in a very like earthy kind of sensual way. Like you're very confident. You're very comfortable in your skin. You don't have anything to prove, because I feel like you're set. Whereas it's like they're almost running with a gang somehow. Like they've got kind of a gang of friends that's not awesome. I think this person might think they're a lot cooler than they really are, or they might bring a lot more to the table than they really do. There's just something about them I don't love, like they have growing up to do. And I think they did make you nervous. They gave you this sense of like, oh my God, you just felt like you were in someone else's skin when you were with them. And I don't know, I do think you fell for them, but I'm not really getting the sense that you are dying to get back together with them. This might be the only reading where I can't feel that you really give that much of a shit about them. I don't know if you I don't know why you're meeting with them. Maybe you want the validation that they really aren't the person you thought they were, or that you really are indeed over them, or that you're like, a person that is doing better things with your life at this time. I'm not sure, but I don't think you're heartbroken over this person. I do think you had a minute of being heartbroken. But you, like I said, you're confident, and you're confident in your own skin, and you can be happy like stepping into nature or doing something kind of simple or pared down. Whereas I don't think they can. I think they need this like outside stimulation. They need to be like, I don't know. And whether that is, I do get like this kind of substance abuse-y angle from them. I just think they could be, I see them out at night a lot. I just see them doing things that are shady. I see them as being shady. That's the perfect word. Whereas I don't get that from you or your friends. That's not your vibe. Okay, I'm going to get 2 cards Oracle cards to kind of sum up your meeting, what it's going to be like. This is going to be, it's almost like a gift from Spirit. Like we're going to ask Spirit, if you meet, what's the theme going to be? Like what's going to happen in this meeting? And then I'm going to get 2 new personality cards for you guys. So let's just see. Become a clear channel and do what you love. So these are actually pretty positive, and it really does actually make me think you guys you guys aren't in love. I don't think this person's in love with you. I don't know that they ever were. I don't know that love is something they really experience or let themselves feel. I don't get a lot of depth off this person at all. And I think they're gonna, I don't even think they're that smart, to be honest. Whereas I just think you're way above them on like, and different scales. And I think intelligence is one of them. But yeah, become a clear channel to me is like, open yourself up to intuition, to, like intuition, like that third eye energy, that what do you really feel? What's your gut feeling telling you? Just go with that. Really tap into what you feel and keep yourself clean and healthy and do exactly what you need to do for you. Because that's what's going to serve you. I just don't see this person serving you. In fact, I think leaving them was probably the best thing you did. And for them, do what you love. I don't even know what that means. It just means they're going to do more of what they always do. I don't see that they've put any work in. I think they are still chasing something that brings them maybe instant gratification. I'm not sure, but I don't get, like I said, I don't get any depth coming off of them. I don't get many layers. I don't get a whole lot off of them. I see someone who's almost like dead behind the eyes, which is interesting. Yeah. Okay. And so 2 personality cards of like kind of this new persona you're going to step into for the meeting and who they can become. Okay. So for you, I've got the Whale, which is depth, which is so interesting because you will show them probably that they lack depth. Very, very interesting. And for them, we have Wisdom, Salmon, and maybe they will, maybe something has happened to them where they realize like, I do need to start just quite frankly using my brain a little bit more. I do need to start learning from my mistakes, looking at my habits, addressing these things. Maybe they are ever so slightly less self-serving than they were. Maybe they're thinking about things a little bit more than they ever were. So I like this for them, but I don't like it for you. But I do think on your next meeting, you might. And the thing is, with this depth, this Whale, I almost feel like you're going to show them like, look, there's so much more to everything. Like they're missing the plot in so many ways. They are just missing the big picture. And maybe you will help them to get a little more wisdom, to be a little bit deeper, to be a little more thoughtful, to just kind of live life a little more fully, which I feel like they're missing out on a lot. And I can't really explain that. It's just a feeling I get. Like I almost pity them. Like I feel sorry for them actually, the more that this unfolds, because you have so much more going for you. You're capable of so much more. You've done so much more at the end of the day. And I kind of feel bad for them. There's something very like one-dimensional about them. And I'd like to think like with this Do What You Love and with the Salmon card that they could change. And I'd really like to think they could, but I think it's their journey. I don't think it's something that you even want to help them with. I really don't think you're heartbroken over this person anymore. But if you meet them, I think it will be positive. You're going to walk away feeling like you absolutely made the right decision. You're probably going to pity them a little bit. But I think you're going to help them. They're going to take something away from this meeting with you that's going to be helpful to them, if that makes you feel better. And I know that's a weird thing. It's not like your goal in life is to make them feel better, but maybe you've worried about them. Maybe you could see them self-destructing or something like that, and you've kind of worried because you care for them in a weird way. And you just, maybe I can tell you that this meeting is going to be better for them than you realize. So yeah, that's what I get out of it. I just get this positive interaction that will help them more than you realize. And I don't even know. I just got an interesting message. I'm going to say, choose your friends wisely. I just got the message that in this meeting, they're going to say something like, I really want to be friends. And they're probably going to want to come back into your life. And they might do it under like the fake pretense of being friends, or maybe they will really want to be your friend. And this, I just got this message of like, look, you don't have to become this person's mentor or their life coach. You don't have to, you can cut ties with them. There isn't a pressure to be their friend after this. You can care for them and you can let them know that you're there for them in some ways, but you don't necessarily have to like open the door to friendship. And I want to instill that. I want to leave on that message because something tells me that they are going to try to keep you in their life as a friend. And I just think that is an energy that you probably don't need. And that they can do the healing and the growth without you kind of walking them through it. So, all right, I hope that tracks. I really did just get a strong last message about that. So that's really coming through. So I hope if you watched it this far, that means something. If you liked this, if you have any thoughts, please comment, like, subscribe, whatever feels good. I would love to have you interact with this and just know your thoughts or feelings. And I wish you the best. And I hope you come back for a reading. So thank you so much. Goodbye.